Yeah.
Oh, are you okay? Hi, Danielle. Nice, Danny, or that's how I see you. Daniel.
Danielle, it's Danielle.
Danielle. Oh, sorry, Danielle. Are you okay if we record the session? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great. Okay, let me get you. Aquí está.
Mais oui, Taalib, mon gars.
I don't want any water up here.
La semaine qui vient.
Oh, vraiment?
Ils m'ont vraiment triste.
Oui. On comprend tout ça, oui. On comprend tout ça. On peut porter mon uniforme à LSU presque chaque jour. À cause moi les commissionné, tu connais? Ça fait mon don ROTC.
Oh, tu vas faire une commission?
Oui.
Pour des officiers?
Oui.
Ok, bon. C'est trop tard pour moi parce que moi, t'es gagné Aster, mon gars, 19, non?
Oh, tu vas faire des retraites, oui.
Ah ouais, bientôt.
Oh, you're on there. Okay. Are we waiting for
Ils m'ont vraiment parlé.
You got that dog? Key Curry or no?
Il y a une autre personne, Tego.
Okay.
Mon cas texte lui.
How do you say is it Kouyon? What is that?
Kouyon.
Kouyon? Is that how you say his name?
Tego? Oh, Kouyon.
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 He's the third person, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is he coming? Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to learn. I'm missing that.
Kouyon, remember I told you, you know what that means. I mean, there could be asshole, there could be dummy.
What's his name?
Kouyon, yeah, Kouyon.
Kouyon West.
Gane Kouyon la.
Okay. We can wait for him.
Yeah, we had the chance to talk with George Tego Lila. We had the chance to talk with George a couple of times over the past 2 weeks. Some things are interesting. There's some interesting things.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's very interesting because I'm learning from you guys. I'm like listening and going, wait, how's that again?
There's certainly a lot of diversity in the language that we don't is not widely known.
It's true.
And in general, people just outside of just Creole or any people just tend to think that this language is this language and it's spoken this way and that's it. And just you don't even have to drive far and the language can change very, very, even in English, like today at work.
Yeah.
2 of my coworkers I was working with, one's from Picayune, Mississippi, and the other one's from Marrero, Louisiana.
Mm.
Those 2 places aren't that far apart, but their accents are very far apart. Very, very far apart.
It's so true. I've been doing interpreting lately, and like I'll get Spanish speakers, and it's just like depending on where they are, what country they're from, it's first of all your vocab is different, the accent is different, the rhythm is different, how people even like sound, like the tones. So yep. I'm sure. Someone today, because I was just on the Twitter feed, said, what did they mention? They mentioned that they couldn't find, let me see. Also, I was just on the Twitter feed and I was telling George how like, how like people were writing like basically like universities, right, are housing like recordings and information, and then it's not free to the public, or they just never publish it. And that's
I'm in the
That's
search
also a
mode on
problem.
Twitter.
Okay, what do you want me to do? Oh, to find me?
Put in, yeah. That book, that Creole book that they got from LSU was like $400 and something.
But anyway, obviously I don't speak, so like my job would be, so there, I was saying there are public archives, right? So basically, oops, as long as you you get approved and then you can put all of the information to a public archive and it's supposed to be there forever and anyone can access it. So then you go around like the problem with universities trying to make money off of language, which is just criminal. That's me.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, should we wait? Is he there?
That's him.
Mhm.
Does he know we can't hear him? Or is
He's
he
on
on-
mute.
Oh, ton micro s'est coupé. Boub, t'es là?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yo.
We can't see you though.
Tell him we're going to record.
I'll let him know. Oh, we're also recording. So just so you know, if you're okay with that. Like, I still can't hear yours. So. Ándate, yo no quiero que estés ahí.
Okay, 1 second.
Vas a bajar.
On veut qu'on finisse apprendre espagnol, oui.
¿Qué digo?
How did you take Spanish?
Oh, well, like in school, and then I studied abroad, but then I did Peace Corps. You know Peace Corps?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then that was in Guatemala, and then I married her dad. So then we had that's how I have Kaqchikel as well, because it was a Spanish-speaking Kaqchikel household. So then I picked up Kaqchikel there. So yeah, but now she's learning French too. So.
Mais ça, c'est bon, oui. Mon camp pour apprendre espagnol à cause de mon des amis qui parlent espagnol à LSU. Et puis, mais oui, mais c'est la langue héritage de la Louisiane.
Oui.
Ouais, vraiment, une grande langue. C'est un grand nom. So he was saying that they speak, he speaks Spanish because of his friend, and it's like one of the big languages of Louisiana. It's a heritage language because when the Spanish had us for some time after Louis XVI gave to Spain Louisiana, then Napoleon sold Louisiana.
Okay, so you speak Spanish then?
No puedo hablar español.
Well, you just did, but okay.
On parle espagnol un petit brin.
Yeah, I know you. I was like, how many do you speak? How many languages?
Moi, c'est confortable avec 6.
Avec six.
Mais à cette heure, moi, m'apprendre un 7e langage, chinois, mandarin.
Oh, nosotros también. We also started Mandarin. We did but I wouldn't say we speak. We just could pass children's tests.
Mais question. Comment tu trouvais comment prendre Mandarin Chinese? Difficile ou plus facile ou quoi?
Pour écrire, c'est difficile. C'est un petit peu difficile pour écrire.
Ah ouais.
Mais pour parler, la grammaire, par exemple, c'est vraiment facile. C'est plus facile que créole.
Vraiment?
Ouais.
Oh,
Mandarin, c'est pas difficile. Mais le ton,
The
c'est
tone.
un petit peu difficile. Mais si tu pratiques, c'est pas difficile. Après ça.
J'imagine que c'est plus facile à apprendre que le français, par exemple. Il n'y a pas de false friends. They don't have anything similar. Since they don't have anything similar, it's like a blank slate.
Oui, c'est un blank slate. Oui. Oui, c'est blank.
Does everyone know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just me. Okay. Hi, I'm Abra.
Les gens là connaissent le Creole. Oh, well, they could even hear. I didn't hear that term until I was a few years ago. Could even hear.
Oui, could even c'est un terme, une parole pour des dialectes créoles dans le sud-ouest de la Louisiane.
Nombreux.
Oui, c'était vraiment pas les langages là, au Pombro et Sacilia, à cause et comment tu peux parler avec mon oncle, il sont en Noville, il dit moi que pour venir un dialecte batarisé de Pombro et Sacilia.
To start recording, so it must be recording.
Okay. You guys, you can.
So,
say Creole what you want with-
So, I'm sorry, Taalib. Puis encore une fois.
Donc, attendez-moi.
On a des problèmes en électronique. Donc, essayez encore une fois. Tu dis que le Corivini, c'est de la grande langue du sud-ouest.
Oui, il parle, ça fait dans les villes de Pombro et Sicilia, il y a une communauté qui parle créole là-bas, et puis les francophones ont décidé de nommer le langage, c'est là, Kurivini, à cause il était capable de comprendre les différences entre les mots Kuri et Vini. Mais mon oncle, et comme on t'a pu parler avec lui, il est à nos villes, c'est pas trop loin de Pombro. Il dit moi que il était pas l'aimé dialecte ça là. Il était cru que c'était un créole bizarre, un créole drôle. Et puis moi t'ai pas connais terme c'est là, jusqu'à moi t'ai gagné 16 ans.
OK.
Ah, ça c'est pas longtemps.
Oui, c'est pas longtemps non.
Huh.
Mais pour moi je dois monter changer mon dialecte pour accommoder les débutants.
Oui, parce que à cette heure, la majorité apprend
Kurivini.
une façon de créole qui devient le sud-ouest.
Oui.
Moi, t'ai commencé comme ça. Moi, t'ai commencé avec Christophe Landry. Il devient de Nouvelle-Libérie. Mais mon communauté, c'est ici à la côte. Moi, c'est complètement différent de les autres. Moi, je ne viens pas de la Louisiane. Moi, je viens de la côte de Mississippi. Nous autres, créoles aussi ici. La côte de Mississippi, c'est créole. La côte de Alabama, c'est créole aussi. Et nos créoles, c'est comme le créole peut-être à Nouvelle-Orléans et la paroisse Saint-Amani. Un petit peu, avec le vocabulaire et avec la même chose avec français aussi. Mais il y a des différences. Nous autres avons nos propres différences ici avec comment nous prononçons des lettres T et D. Ils prononcent ça comme un petit peu comme monde de Québec en français.
Donc, donnez-nous un exemple.
Il dit
Hmm.
comme les
Nous
Québécois.
t'avons parlé après ça.
Mais c'est le dialecte de Mississippi, c'est pas beaucoup connu. Moi-même, je connais pas beaucoup parce que la majorité ici parle anglais.
Ah. Mais il n'y a pas des gens là-bas qui font des tout.
Oui, il y a un monde qui parle créole et français ici, mais il est très fermé. La communauté, c'est très fermé. La majorité reste à, tu connais, de l'île et Passe-Christian. La majorité des francophones et créolophones restent là-bas.
Ah bon, moi, je connais non, ça. Ça, c'est vraiment intéressant, ça.
Nos communautés créoles, c'est concentré là-bas.
OK. Mais
la côte entière, c'est créole. Mais la culture, c'est très, très fort là-bas.
voilà.
Le plus fort de la côte, c'est là-bas.
Bon. Mais, what was I going to say? Shit, I'm sorry. Les gars des peurs de parler créole devant des gens blancs là-bas?
Comment?
Les gars des peurs de parler créole devant des gens blancs là-bas?
Les pères?
They're pale, like they're scared, or they don't.
Oh,
Like,
ouais, les gars peur, ouais, les gars peur et les gars honte.
mhm.
Aquí.
Because pendant mon enfant là, que mes grands-parents quoi, lui dit pas ne crier devant des gens blancs, jamais. So,
Oh, non, c'est pas différent, c'est pas comme ça. Toi, t'as dit moi ça la dernière fois, nous autres, t'es parlé, mais c'est pas un problème avec entre moun noir ou moun blanc. C'est une chose de moun qui est créole contre moun qui c'est pas créole. Tu connais? Parce que dans la vie de passe chrétienne, tout quelqu'un il est identifié comme créole ou français. La majorité, il y a des surnoms français ou l'espagnol. Il y a tout créole, mais il y a peur et quand il parle avec monde qui sort de l'autre village. Tu connais? Créole aussi. Je n'ai pas parlé créole avec l'autre monde créole.
Ah bon?
C'est
Parce que nous ici, moi parler de créole que des autres créoles, mais moi parlais pas de créole que des gens blancs parce que mon grand-père a dit, tu n'as jamais trouvé un bon travail si tu parlais de créole devant des autres.
Ça, c'est une chose de passé, longtemps passé.
Ouais, longtemps passé.
Well, y'all have to remember, I'm also a lot older than probably all of y'all too, because I'm almost.
Ouais, c'est vrai. C'est vrai.
Moi, presque 50 ans, quoi.
Mon gars 40, non. Mais pour nous autres, c'est un petit peu différent. Parce que mon blanc, tu parles français et créole ici aussi. Et il ne parle pas avec l'autre monde. Parce que aussi, il était pensé sur créole, sur français ou créole, c'est cassé. C'est pas du bon français ou bon créole.
I used to.
Il était pensé sur qualité créole et français, c'est.
I was always in trouble.
Basse classe ou quelque chose comme ça.
I was always in trouble coming home from school because me and my cousins spoke together in school, and we get in trouble. People would call my grandparents, and we would always get punished.
I don't have a lot of stories like that here. Like I say, here it's the coast of Mississippi is different. So I learned I'm a little different from George and Taalib. I started learning Creole when I was 28 or 29, 28. I've been speaking French since I was 11, but I'm self-taught. It skipped generations in my family.
Okay.
Because my mom is Creole and African American ethnically. Both my parents are black. My mom is Creole and African American. African Americans from Virginia that moved to Louisiana and married Creoles. And that's in Louisiana, New Orleans. And then my family from the coast of Mississippi, which is Bay St. Louis, were African Americans who moved to Gulfport and married into Creole families of Creole from Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. And then my dad is from Jamaica. He's a Jamaican immigrant. So in my grandmother's family from New Orleans, my grandmother spoke French, but she learned it in school because it also skipped generations in her family.
Oh, okay. I see. That's
she
cool.
went to school. She went to elementary all the way through college in New Orleans. She was Catholic schools and Catholic college. She went to Xavier.
Mary?
All of that. So she learned standard international French. But my grandfather, his side of the family are from Mississippi. His father could barely speak English. His father was from Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. And his father was from Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. And his father was from Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. So, and they were just francophones from Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. And my great-grandfather did not teach it to my grandfather. So it's skipped 2 generations because my grandfather could only understand it. So there was my mother and her siblings never learned it. It's just the regular stuff that Creole people say. You know, we'll throw a couple French words here and there. But when my dad got stationed overseas, I live near the border of France.
Mm.
I started to teach myself French with dictionaries, and then I joined the military in 2003 and lived in Europe for 6 years. And then that was what really sent my French over the edge. Because I could speak it before, but like I really learned it over there. And then I moved back to America in 2009, and then 2010 is when I started Creole. And I picked it up real quick because I had the French vocabulary already. It was,
And
so
you
I had
know,
to learn a lot. I had to learn a lot. And then I had to learn, was on the search for the specifics of my way of speaking French and Creole here. There's not a lot of information on Creole on the coast. There's more information on French on the coast. And the French in Mississippi is actually partially Creole. They have a lot of Creole grammar in it. Like they've lost a lot of the gender for nouns.
mhm.
They use typically just a genderless, like a le or la for everything almost.
Oh yeah.
There's little bits and pieces of Creole that exist in the French here. So it mixed at some point. So, but yeah, it has its little peculiarities here. Like I said, they have like the pronunciation here is a little similar to like what they do say in Quebec. Because the way that the French here is very conservative, because this is where they landed when they founded the Mississippi River. They landed in Biloxi, Ocean Springs, and then they went to Mobile too, and then they went west to New Orleans. So, and with the people of Pasquistan being very conservative in general in all aspects of life, even they don't, like I say, they don't even talk to other francophones. People from New Orleans or wherever in Louisiana come to Pasquistan, and they won't speak Creole or French with them at all because they're outsiders. So,
Yeah.
so they kept a lot of stuff that maybe some other dialects might have changed due to waves of different French speakers from different regions of France or Canada. In Pasquistan, they kept a very old way of speaking, and it's very conservative.
I bet that would be
They sound a little bit Quebecois.
I bet that would be a very interesting study.
Rebecca Larche Morton did it. She wrote a dissertation on it
Interesting.
in the 90s.
Like with you, but I was the opposite. My Creole is what, when I lived in France, helped me learn the French in like 3 months. It was almost like my teacher asked me, he said, how you speak French with all these old archaic words? And then he say, and they're used correctly, but you're speaking with a Black Caribbean accent. I think it was one time I said something about bon frivolité and something, and then the next sentence I used carriage instead of voiture. And
Oui, voiture, les chars, ouais, c'est
a char, like that. My grandfather always, until he like passed, he always called it charriage, like carriage.
Carriage. Wow.
That's what he called the car, carriage.
Carriage. C'est intéressant parce que son créole, il y a beaucoup de différences avec créole de la Nouvelle-Orléans. Chaque paroisse et avec mon cas, chaque comté, county, a son propre créole ou français. Mais le dialecte de la Nouvelle-Orléans, c'est complètement différent. D'après moi, c'est complètement différent de les autres variétés de créole. Sauf la créole de Point Coupé. Point Coupé créole, c'est intéressant, mais après monter à apprendre créole avec un book de Nouvelle-Libérie, monter trouver une chanson avec Lizzie Miles, tu connais, et là-bas. Et comment t'écoutes ça, par exemple, pour le parole mi, monter apprend moi. Mais à Nouvelle-Orléans, il dit moins.
I just want to let everyone know.
Et la paroisse Saint-Amélie, il dit moins aussi.
Should I?
Dimanche, il dit moins.
She says that, all right, well, first of all, the girl here is Abra to translate what they're asking in the chat. This is Abra, everybody.
Hi.
And
Hi,
the session looks like it might expire in about 8 minutes. Should we
What do you guys want me
extend?
to do? Do you want me to extend, or should we just do another night, or?
I actually have Zoom.
Oh, you do have real Zoom. Okay.
It's purchased, so I could just send y'all a Zoom link.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you do that on Continue?
Mhm.
So
Pop, continue.
the conversation, como tu appelles nom la femme la? How do you spell the name of the woman? And then Tego said quelle, and like which one, who? And I said femme la, the woman Rebecca, ou quelque chose, or something. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't really spell the way we pronounce. Like that's pronounced Kishoj, but I pronounce it Kikshoj. I just choose to write it that way because that's the way most people
Oh, it's the
write.
phonetic spelling. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how a lot of people actually learn languages, right? With phonetic spelling.
Yeah, we don't have a standard way of speaking Creole yet, so there's a lot of variety,
That's so cool.
and it shows the French roots because in France there's like how many different ways to pronounce the word thing, how many different ways to say the word what and
Mhm.
who,
Mhm.
qui, quoi, call.
Now, there's something I actually wanted to talk with one of the linguists about is because I got this book, Morgan, livre si là, c'est un livre pour l'occitan, pour le langage l'occitan. Et puis, dans le livre si là, il dit li pour lui et il. Et moi, les connais si nous t'es attrapé aspect si là de l'occitan. Et puis aussi, mon terroir dans l'occitan, il dit drôle et drôlière pour garçon et petite fille. Et en point de vue Saint-Onger, il dit drôle et drôlière pour garçon et petite fille. Ça fait pas et trouver si nous te dit drôle et drôlière en Louisiane. À cause de mon cross, c'est possible à cause c'est deux langues, nous t'es attrapé un tas des aspects de ces deux langues.
Moi, j'ai trouvé beaucoup de similarités avec des dialectes et patois tout partout compagnons dans la France.
Dans la France.
Pas juste Saint-Onger à Poitou-Charentes, pas juste ça, mais l'autre dialecte, comme tu t'es dit, comme l'occitan et tout quelque chose comme ça.
You just need my names on Twitter. Sorry, guys. I know you're talking about something really important. I'm just thinking about how to like my job because I don't even speak is like just how to make the language accessible, right? Or like just you guys are speaking like people want to hear it, right? Because we can just do a live video instead of Zoom on Twitter. Are people okay with that? And then anyone can listen to this conversation and it's there. And I don't think it goes away on Twitter because I think it's almost like a free archive, right? Because like anyone can pass and then go review the video. Should we try that instead of renewing Zoom?
Are you talking about like the Twitter Spaces, or is there like a live video too?
I think it's. Do you know how to do a Twitter Space? But it's like a live video because I've seen people do it almost like podcasts.
Well, why don't we do instead of doing that tonight because we're already set up? Why don't we go ahead and continue with Zoom, and then we'll set up a Twitter thing so we can research and figure out exactly how it works and get it ready next time.
Okay, I'll do that.
I think a Twitter. I think we do a Zoom and you can see people's faces and do that.
Yeah.
It's more material instead of substituting one for the other. Do Zoom today and then
next time
tomorrow or another day we can do space. I'll be happy. I like doing spaces. I'll be happy to do that.
Oh,
too.
you know how to do it. Everyone knows how to do things.
I'm good for that too.
Yeah, I can do that.
Nous pelle les espaces zozotaires.
Excuse me while I stretch.
Espace zozotaire.
I'm old, sitting on the floor is hard.
Espace zozotaire.
Mais ça n'a pas fait une gestion pour la conversation.
Moi, voyez, vous êtes une invitation. Oui.
Yeah.
Oh, mon soeur, moi, t'es capable. Ouais, nous c'est pelé Brian Castillo à cause lui parle créole point qui fait.
À la joindre?
Moi, pas connaître s'il est gars, s'il est capable, non. À cause lui toujours dans l'église. Toujours.
Les catholiques aussi?
Ouais, les bien catholiques.
Mais comment tu trouvais la créole de Cane River en comparison que nos créoles?
Je m'en jamais eu la chance de parler avec quelqu'un là-bas.
Comment j'ai parlé?
Il y a quelques vidéos sur la YouTube, mais c'est tout. Je connais quoi. It's all I've seen. It's not. It's kind of like they're also very closed, so it's hard to find. It's hard to find it like recorded. But I know they have a heavy concentration of Metoyer that are from there.
Mais mon croix, il était parti en tant que créolophone. Mon croix, nous gagne plus créolophone que lui, oui. Ou non?
Hey, you.
À Nakitosh.
On pas connaître parce que tout le monde tendait après, c'est caché. Il était tout le temps caché.
Naked gagne beaucoup monde francophone.
Pas créolophone?
Il y a des créolophones là-bas, oui, mais il y a beaucoup francophones aussi.
Mm-hmm.
Mais il y a un problème avec, like, par exemple, il y a une vidéo dans YouTube. Et il était fait le titre de comment parler French Creole et Creole French. Et ça confuse la situation.
Quelle vidéo c'est ça? C'est cela, il a parlé pour like trail rides and all that, planning the next meeting.
C'est un meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Oui, et il a parlé français, pas créole dans le meeting.
Ouais, moi connais.
Uh-oh, less than a
connais
minute.
qu'elle
About
t'a
to
parlé.
get cut off.
Oui. Ça fait, m'envoyer les autres liens là, les dons Twitter, ça fait. Ouais,
Okay.
moi déjà là.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's gonna send them?
Okay, perfect.
It's already in there.
We have to get out to get in.
Okay. I mixed up